I love her. I think her collar's too tight.
I saw the collar when he took it off. There was no mechanism or any sort of shocking thing.
Like it's only a vibrate. It's like there's a setting for vibrate and there's a setting for shock.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So there's only since the prongs are in it only vibrates.
This is the one that people are talking about.
You have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get one. I think you're choking her.
This dog is spoiled rotten.
It's a lot of neck meat. The clip looks fucking horrible, and people were like, clown take. Can you shut the fuck up when it comes to black folks? You really don't want to talk about us unless it comes from voting. When is the last time you spoke about Sudan? I'm gonna ether you. Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat?
We need, as white people, to be allies with our black and brown sisters in this country and stand up for racism everywhere, all the time, loud and proud.
You think you have a pass in here to speak like this? Get the out of here.
I make them uncomfortable. I let them know that racism will not be tolerated in my space. I will not share oxygen with a racist.
Go post a clip about how much of a supremacist I am. Suck my annoying, dumb.
I have heard people say very racist things in my presence. As a privileged white woman, I've heard it, and I checked it.
We're talking about creating a larger, broad, people-backed movement, creating solidarity.
Before we go any further, I want to talk about the main topic of this video, Taylor Lorenz, because at this point, it's not just about the Hasan controversy. It's also about who's shaping that narrative. And honestly, isn't Hasan just boring? I know videos of him could get better views, and I understand the irony talking about being boring while making a video about Taylor Lorenz, but stay with me on this one. Alright, one throwback Hasan video just to prove my point, and so we can all laugh.
I'm here to talk to you today about music, art, fashion, one of the greatest problems that our generations are facing. The biggest scourge that affects our society. Against all of the cultural and social progress we've seen is the battle against intellectual thought. Are you guys comfortable with that? This is a war against critical thinking, a battle against intellectualism. This is a war against rational behavior. And we're not even aware of it. And that's terrifying. Whew. What kind of an example are we setting? The problem with America is that because of cultural imperialism, we are literally teaching the rest of the world how to think, what to wear. The Kardashians are lying to you. Culture used to be the backbone of the resistance. All it seeks to do is sedate the masses. Culture now seeks to appeal to our primal urges, our base needs. We're now in the age of mediocrity. You can bring about the positive change you want to see in this world, because the revolution will not be televised. Only you can bring about the revolution by taking it to the streets. Keep resisting. I feel like we're always going to be upset if we don't talk about fashion. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I'm a zygote and this is deep. You know what? I didn't give Hasan enough credit. It's hard to blend satire and commentary so well that no one has no idea what the hell is going on. He does look good here. Is that the majority of his appeal? Because imagine if he said the same things looking like this. No? Okay, how about this? Anyways, can I try to freestyle this video right now? Okay. I'm here to talk to you today about ideas, about fashion, about thinking. Because thinking, my friends, is under attack. And the people attacking it are the same ones selling you lip gloss. We live in a society, don't laugh, this is serious, where Kardashians are generals in the war against rationality. And we're losing. Culture used to be rebellion. Now it's trending sounds. Resistance used to mean marching. Now it means tweeting ratio. We are teaching the world how to think, and it's mostly poorly. Remember, the revolution will not be televised, but it will be sponsored by SeatGeek. Alright, let's get back into it. Taylor often positions herself as a journalist, someone whose reporting carries more integrity or credibility than everyone else online. But what I've seen time and time again is that she slips between the roles of journalist and influencer depending on what serves her argument. When she's criticized, she hides behind the label of journalist. But when she wants to build her personal brand or moral authority, she leans on influencer tactics, selective framing, emotional posturing, and moral high grounding. What's interesting is she calls out people for attacking Hasan, who's supposedly on the left, but just a few months ago she published an entire Wired article attacking other leftists involved in the Chorus Creator Program, an article I covered in detail on my blog. In that piece, I pointed out how Lorenz framed a mentorship initiative as a dark money operation, while omitting context, flattening nuance, and, ironically, doing more damage to the progressive movement than the people she accused. So it raises a question: where does this moral high ground come from? Who decides who's the good leftist and the bad one? And why does Taylor Lorenz get to claim journalistic integrity while actively fueling the same division she claims to condemn? I showed in the introduction to this video Taylor Lorenz on the I've Had It podcast with Jennifer Welch. And fun fact, a few weeks after Taylor Lorenz called out the Chorus program and called them a dark money psyop, the I've Had It podcast had on Jen Psaki. You know, former White House press secretary, MSNBC host, someone much more relevant than Taylor Lorenz, someone who doesn't have a range of years for a birthday on her wiki, born in 1984 or 1985? Because of course, Taylor Lorenz's birth year is factually disputed. Couldn't we just read her birth certificate? Can't we believe our eyes?
Yeah, exactly. Don't believe your eyes. Believe actual journalism.
Hold on. Taylor Lorenz doesn't have a journalism degree? Why does she act like a gatekeeper of journalism? At the end of the day, we are both people with blogs and without journalism degrees. The only difference being one of us had to leave our job at the Washington Post. Anyway, here's what Jen Psaki had to say, and I agree with all of it.
Democrats don't support Democrats who are, who are progressive leaning, what have you, who have platforms, don't support each other, really, don't support each other on platforms by having each other on the different platforms, by lifting up the work of each other's platforms. So there's that. And the other piece is, I remember a couple months ago, it's all the space-time continuum is a little confusing, where there was this story that was so scandalous about how kind of an outside group was paying creators to create content for the Democrats.
Chorus or something
Whatever
like
it
that.
is. And I'm like, it was a little clunky and messy, but I'm like, you know what? I hope there are billionaire Democratic donors who are going to pay some creators to create content, not in a way that should be repeating the DNC talking points, but should be freewheeling. You 22-year-olds who are really good at talking about healthcare in a personal way, but don't have the means to do it and expand what you're doing. Let's fund you and give you money so you can do it. I think that's a good thing. And that doesn't exist as much on the Democratic side either. Yeah. And I hope it does over the coming years.
And honestly, isn't that a perfectly reasonable take? Pay creators to talk about issues they care about as long as it's transparent. I don't think money in media is the problem. Pretending it's not there is the problem. But here's the thing. There's a big difference between transparency and deception. Just a few months after this, we found out that a group of major right-wing influencers, people like Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, and Benny Johnson, were unknowingly working for a Russian-backed media company, Prosecutors say the company was secretly funneled almost $10 million from Russian state media to push content that lined up with the Kremlin interests. These weren't small deals either. One influencer reportedly had a $400,000 monthly contract plus bonuses. And the goal wasn't talk about healthcare authentically. It was to quietly spread narratives that deepen US division and weaken support for Ukraine. So yeah, when you compare something like the Chorus Project or what Psaki's describing to that, it's not even in the same universe. One is clumsy political funding that should have been labeled better. The other is an international disinformation operation. The real takeaway is who pays you matters a lot less than whether your audience knows who pays you. Because the moment that relationship becomes hidden, journalism and commentary stop becoming the truth. The real takeaway is who pays you matters a lot less than whether your audience knows who pays you. Because the moment that relationship becomes hidden, journalism and commentary stop being the truth and start being about manipulation. And speaking of transparency, or maybe just not paying attention, let's check back in with Taylor Lorenz on the I've Had It podcast, where she's doing her best impression of someone who's researched the story she's covering.
The dog has a little doggy bed that he lays on so that he doesn't hurt his joints by sitting on the floor all day. And he seems to have clipped his nail, it got caught in the
It's a girl.
bed. Sorry. Oh my God.
Yeah. Don't make gender Kaya.
I know. So Kaya seems to have clipped her nail or something. And she just let out a very small yelp, as dogs do. I grew up with dogs. I love dogs. She yelped once on stream. And people started to claim that this was evidence of abuse in some way. And it just spiraled.
So in this clip, she calls Kaya a he, then corrects herself with she, then says, I guess she clipped her paw, the kind of confidence you expect from someone claiming to clear up misinformation. And here's the thing, this isn't even a complicated story unless you're trying to not understand it. Because over time, Hasan's version of what happened has changed many times, and it's been covered so many times on so many other videos. But here's a quick rundown of all the things that have changed over time.
First, he said the paw got stuck.
Yeah.
Then he said he was reaching for his zins. Then he said she wasn't wearing a collar. Then he says it's a vibration collar. Then he made the argument that electric collars are actually okay, even if I was using one. Then he says the dog is spoiled. He said it's Israeli propaganda. And finally, where we're at now is that it's the gate. It was the gate. So we have explored a total of 8 possible excuses.
I've Had It podcast does get just a bit of credit for actually showing the clip of Hasan supposedly shocking his dog, something Taylor failed to do in her original video. And why is that? In this video, Taylor frames this as a politically charged smear, but if you watch closely, the situation is much more straightforward, and the controversy isn't about politics. It's about what actually happened with Hasan's dog. Taylor frames this as a politically driven campaign, but notice she's the one adding the politics. The reality is simpler. The dog yelped once, and whether or not Hasan used a shock collar has been heavily debated. While we can't confirm it 100%, there's compelling evidence pointing toward it, including the collar model being publicly confirmed by the manufacturer. As I said, everyone's talked about this controversy. The part that I don't think has been talked about enough is the way Hasan acted after his dog yelped. Let's say everything he said was true, which would be tough because, as we've seen, he changed his story a lot. If everything he said was true, he was still neglectful towards his dog by not checking on her. And that just does not make sense to me as a dog owner. And here, let's listen to a vet explain it more clearly.
Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop. Jesus Christ, what are you doing? You're being such a baby.
So in this video, we see a famous influencer allegedly use a shock collar on his dog after laying there for about 4 hours as his backdrop. Okay, and for one, his credibility is already ruined because the first thing he did was lie about using a shock collar at all, as you can see here.
She didn't even have that collar on to begin with.
What?
And the minute you lie, your credibility is gone. Everything you say from there on out, no one's gonna believe you. Then he admitted the dog was wearing the collar, but left out that it has the ability to both vibrate and shock.
It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it.
Not to mention this video of him hiding the remote on live stream so that people can't see him using it. If you're not doing anything wrong, then why hide it? And if you're curious about what kind of collar it is, here's a good explanation.
This is the exact shock collar Hasan used. It even has the black tape just like his. This is the mini educator made by eCollar Technologies. Go over here where the black tape is and peel that off, which is something he just added, by the way. There's little screws for prongs. And what you do is you take these prongs, and now it also has the ability to give stimulus or shock.
And if you want his solid reasoning as to why he's the shock collar, here it is.
Come over here to see what's up. She just wants to fucking...
She wants to walk?
Roam the house because she got to roam the house when I was gone.
Yeah, so he didn't want a large breed dog getting up or moving around after it had been in the same spot for about 4 hours, assuming because she makes a pretty backdrop. My thoughts are is that it doesn't matter whether or not it was shock or vibration mode. This negative reinforcement or punishment causes enough stress and duress for the patient to yelp out loud and go back to its bed out of fear and submission, even if no physical damage was done. Thunder is harmless, but it can cause enough fear and stress for a pet to jump out of the window, cut itself, get hurt, or never be seen again. The point is, he was inappropriately punishing her for a normal dog behavior. The purpose of negative reinforcement or punishment is so that you immediately use it so that you can prevent an inappropriate behavior from your pet. Kaya had been laying down for several hours, and anybody would know after laying down for that long, blood supply decreases to that area of your body, joints tend to hurt more, so she needs to get up and move around, let alone just have some behavioral enrichment. So yes, this is animal abuse because Kaya was being punished only for moving around and her needs are being neglected.
As the vet explains, even if the collar was only in vibration mode, punishing a dog for normal behavior, especially after lying down for hours, causes unnecessary stress and fear. It's not just about physical harm, it's about compassion. And here's the takeaway. While Taylor Lorenz often rushes to defend people she likes, she seems to overlook basic compassion in situations like this. Recognizing stress and suffering doesn't need politics. It just needs empathy, which clearly was missing here. And lastly, what's up with all the Hasan Defender scripts?
No, it wasn't confirmed Hill Kid. It was confirmed that it was a fucking vibration collar, or that the dog had a vibration collar. Not even that he used it. That's just what the dog has.
Yes, I have seen the Kaya stuff, and let me tell you, Kaya is, well, first of all, the clip did look horrible. The clip was really bad. It was so bad. And it's understandable why everyone was freaking out about it, but I can verify that Kaya is the most loved and spoiled and just the most well-trained and best little baby, or big baby, that I have ever been around and that I have ever seen.
And then all the Hasan, like, people that want Hasan were like, he used a shock collar and he's abusing his dog. And then everyone's just like doing all this. Everyone is literally, and it's not even the fact, it's just like the fact that people are going through these, I'm seeing these insane lengths about, like, the lengths that people are going to see. They're like editing his picture and turning up the contrast where he showed the collar to be like, no, look, he put tape over it. It blows my mind when people care so much about something like that when there's so many worse, more ridiculous. Also too, as somebody who's met Kaya, because all these people on the internet, I'm like, I've met that damn dog. That dog is like the sweetest dog ever, and she's like the happiest girl in the world.
Actually, I've been to Hasan's house. I've met Kaya. She's basically my niece. The dog wagged her tail once, so clearly he's never done anything wrong. Do you even own a dog? People are just mad because Hasan is hot and successful, and your streamer looks like a Discord mod, and oh, Kaya, yeah, she told me that she loves the vibration of the collar, obviously, of course. And sure, he might have shocked the dog one time, or maybe more than once, but you know, there's a genocide happening. You care about a dog more than human rights? Hasan liked my tweet in 2021, so I know him better than his own family. I can verify that, and I met Kaya's cousin twice, so that's basically proof. Honestly, the dog is fine, totally fine. Kaya loves it. You just don't get politics or vibes or the receipts. It's all just facts every single time. Anyways, guys, that's my video. I don't really know what I'm trying to make this channel out to be, but just trying to make videos that are appealing to me. So if you've enjoyed this, please give me a like, please subscribe, and do all of those YouTube things, and I will see you next time.